Hi everyone, it's Christine. Welcome to my YouTube page. I'm completely natural right now. There's nothing except for good skincare on my face, and I'm going to do a full-fledged makeup tutorial using all the products that I love, and I'm going to share why I love them so much. And so we are going to go from foundation all the way to eyeliner, brows, lips, the whole thing. So hang in there with me. We're in my office space. This is not a very high fashion production here, but I just wanted it to be natural and super easy so that any of you out there that have been struggling with makeup just can watch how I do it and maybe pick up some tips. So the first thing that we're going to do is we're going to talk real quick. Everything I'm using is safe for beauty. So this is all from Beautycounter, and the reason I'm choosing everything from Beautycounter because these are my favorite things to use for makeup. And I will explain why. And I was thinking about it today as I was putting it together because I put it in a nice little tray so that it could be very easy to access. And I thought about all the years that I spent in the makeup counters, all the years that I spent at Nordstrom's and Neiman's and Barney's and all those stores, and when clients would come in, how easily they would drop $300, $400, $500 on makeup. And so I thought, what a great way to show women that for $200 you can actually get a very serious collection of makeup that will last you for quite a long time, because most of us are not wearing it all the time, and there are some that do. So let's get started. First of all, let's get started and have fun. So what we will do is start with the Tin Skin foundation. The reason I love this so much is that it covers, but it doesn't make me look like I'm wearing heavy makeup. It still allows some of my freckles and demarcations to show through. If I want, I can lighten it with a little bit of facial oil or moisturizer, or I can pile it on if I really need a lot of coverage, say on film. Maybe I'm going out somewhere special. It layers beautifully. There's hyaluronic acid in it, which makes it really give a drink of moisture to my skin so that it looks like it's glowing, and it has that very dewy look. Great for all skin types, especially forgiving for mature skin. I am 48. I'll be 49 in a couple of months. So the first thing we'll do is we are going to take a pea size of this. I've got ink on my fingers. See, I'm so not fancy YouTube makeup girl, but that's okay because we're just getting real here. I love their brush. You're gonna see the coverage and how easy. It'll make me look like I've been airbrushed. Just taking a little bit in my hands, starting in the center, and then moving out. And I want you to see the coverage that it gives me on half of my face. Already, it's evened out my skin tone. The blotchiness is leaving, and there you go. So I'm going to put a little bit more, and I'm looking in the other mirror too, so that I can make sure that we're getting an even application. Depending on how often you use makeup, some of my clients will have that tube for a year. At $41, that's a pretty good deal. You're not getting all the chemicals, and you're actually getting a professional product that works like the bad guys without all of those heavy toxic chemicals. And there we go. And I'm using honey. I'm going to do just a little bit more. You want to make sure, do it in a circular motion and bring it down into the neck so that you don't have any funny demarcations. When you're testing colors for foundation, always go on your jaw going into the neck, and I take it a little bit on the lid, up, and there we go. Beautiful coverage, still looks like my skin. I love it. And if I want, I can actually just take this with a little bit of like the Color Pinch blush, some gloss, a mascara, and I'm out the door. So that is something for somebody that really doesn't want to do the whole-fledged makeup, and you're still getting a beautiful kit. It's maybe like $100 and something. And the Touchup, the cream blusher, you can carry in your purse. and touch up at any time and still get some nice pop, some pop and some radiance in your skin. But I'm going to do the full makeup. So now is the touch-up pen, which I also love. This reminds me of the Yves Saint Laurent Touche Éclat, and it is wonderful. The first place we show aging is underneath our eyes. So you want to take it from the inside corner, bringing it all the way up. And what I love is that it doesn't end up in the creases. It does not end up looking very cakey and crepey. And you want to just touch and bring it up. If you have darkness, anywhere there's darkness or redness, you want to take and bring that pen around the mouth and just touch with your fingers and touch up. Of course, you can also use a brush. I will buff it out with the foundation brush just to make sure it's blended. Very important to keep everything very blended so you don't have any harsh lines. I am going to use the mattify powder right now. In the winter I don't need it as much, but because it's getting a little warm and I'm actually perspiring, I'm going to set my foundation with the mattify powder. I love this because it's very translucent, so it's just absorbing the oil, finishing my foundation, and just giving it a nice little touch, a little bit underneath the eye, and there you go. And I'm so big on making sure that it's blended and it looks smooth. Okay, so that was the touch pen and the tint skin and the mattify. Now we are going to do the bronzer. I really, really like these bronzers. As a makeup artist for so many years, over 20 years, I appreciate that they're not orange and there's no sparkle. They're matte, they're sheer, they're blendable. This is the number 1. I'm normally spring and summer number 2, but I'm actually very light for my very light skinned right now. I haven't been really going in the sun or going to the desert as much that I normally do. So I'm using the number 1, and you just want to go where the sun normally shines. Bronzer is not blush. This gives you definition and warmth. So as you can see, it's giving me a little bit of a contour without having to use all those products, and just blending with the angled brush and a little bit down on the chin. And there you go. Now I'm actually look like I have some color in my skin, a little bit of life, a little bit of warmth. You can always take it up on the lid. And that's the bronzer. Super amazing on. It looks great on everyone. People think you only need it in the summer. It's actually a great bridge color. So as you go light to darker, it bridges the your foundation colors as you go light into darker. And especially when you live in warm, sunny climates, you will need at least 2 foundations and definitely a bronzer. So the next thing I'm going to do is a blush. I do really like using cream blushes. I'm going to do the powder right now. If I were to use the cream blush, I would put that directly on the tint skin before I powdered. Cream to cream, foundation, cream to cream meaning foundation and then cream blusher, or cream and then powder. So if I put my foundation and then the powder and try to put the cream blush on top, it's not going to blend as well. It'll blend much easier and look more natural if you put your foundation and then cream blusher and then your powder. Otherwise, foundation, powder blusher, powder bronzer. So I hope that wasn't confusing. That was a little bit of a tongue tie. So I'm taking the Bloomin' Tulip, which for all my clients, it gives a beautiful flush of color. And what you're trying to do is get it to look like you just ran a marathon or chased your kid down the street or went dancing. You have that flush of color. So that's what we're mimicking. You're going to take your brush, and you can actually use the, this is a Terry Ma. I don't know, I got this online. I love the shape of this dome. But you can also use the bronzer, the angled brush, to do your blush as well. But I'm going to just go ahead and use this one. and just right in the apples of my cheek, bringing that up. And I'll tell you how to use it on your eyes with your eyeshadow. Already so much life in my skin. And then we are going to go ahead and do eyeshadow. So another very classic, easy color to use on most skin types is the malt and the shell. So we don't need to make this difficult. Let's make this super, super simple. You're going to take the shell, apply it all over the lid. It's your base color. It's a soft pink, it's a cross between a bone and a pink, so it's just a lovely base. Gives a little bit of illumination without it being sparkly and shimmery, which is very aging on older, mature skin. And you're going to take it over like that. Then with an angled brush, you're going to take the malt, and I put it straight on my lid and bring it up into the crease and let the brush do the work. Brushes are very important, and I've done videos on brushes, so make sure that you're taking a look at those. And so you see that I'm getting some depth, some contour on my lid without it looking too carved and too fake and too painted. You want it just to highlight and accent your eyes. So I feel very comfortable with this. This is something that I could wear on a daily basis without looking like it's too much. Then here's the trick. You're going to take your blush, just a little bit, and to bring some warmth and some life just right above the crease. I think my kids are coming home, but I told them to be quiet. And that's a trick I learned from Janine Lobel from Stila Cosmetics. So it just gives, it's hard to see in this picture, but it really does give a pop of color and just kind of breaks the brown and the shell. Then a little bit of eyeliner. I personally really love the navy because it looks great on every skin type, and what it does is it makes the whites of your eyes whiter so your eyes pop. I do use it in the waterline just a little bit. And really close, I think I got a little bit too much. Really close to the lash line. So it looks like the base of your lashes are thicker instead of like a very defined line. Of course, if you want to do a cat eye or anything like that, go ahead. You can play with that. I just want to keep it very tight and soft. These are great because they're not too creamy and they're not too hard. I like to keep the tip kind of rounded, and I will kind of warm it up on my skin before I put it on. It makes it easier to blend. And there's a blending tip at the end. And I will go ahead and do the other eye. It's hard to see on that. I can see why the girls that do these videos have all kinds of fancy mirrors and lights, but I just wanted to get this out there because this is for the everyday woman, and we want it to make it, I want makeup to be a fun and exciting, easy. Like normally this would take me about 5 minutes, but because I'm doing an actual tutorial, it's a little bit longer. So let's do the brows. Also, once again, the brow pencil from Beautycounter is dry enough and creamy enough without being, you won't wipe it off. It'll stay. So it's a dry consistency that it'll actually go on and stay. So what you're doing is you're defining your eyebrows, and you are making it, you're framing your face. The brows really open up the eye and frame your eyes, your face. They're so important. You can take the brush and blend in just a little bit like that. You can already see how my face is just coming into form. And I'm totally comfortable without makeup. I actually go most of the week without makeup, but when I do, I want it to be where it's just accenting and really highlighting, the things that I feel most comfortable on my face and bringing some color and some life. It's an art form, really. It's super fun. Okay, so my brows are on and we're gonna do mascara. Get a good eyelash curler. Sephora has some great ones, Shiomura, Shiseido, and I'm sure there's so many more now out there. You want to get it close to the lash line and then up a little bit at the tips. If you've never used one, just be patient and practice. Mascara. This mascara from Beautycounter lasts. It stays on forever. It's actually kind of hard to get off, and it lengthens. It's no lead, no heavy metals. You don't want the lead going into your tear duct and straight into your bloodstream like most of the mascaras. So it's safe, and it's got a great brush so that you can manipulate and work that brush to get some really beautiful eyelashes to just open your eyes. So you're wanting to take the brush up, bringing it in and building, and you can build on this mascara like nobody's business. Actually put several coats on. It really helps to open my eye. And why do we have to always open our mouths when we're putting on eye makeup? And there you go. And the other eye. So it doesn't smudge, it doesn't smear like the majority of the natural mascaras that I have used, and I've tried them all. Well, not all of them. I'm sure there's some that I need to try, but so far this gets a 2 thumbs up from me. And this whole palette that I'm using is, we can tweak it a little bit to match your skin type, your skin tone, but pretty much the colors that I'm using are universal. And where we have fun is in the lipstick, and you'll see that next. And there you go. Very natural. Still a little bit more, my eyes are more awake, more open. And it is, now this could be like my base makeup, right? So I can take it and make it very natural just by using the Rose. That was Scarlet. Our lip sheers feel like a lip balm, but last like a lipstick. They go on velvety smooth, they smell great, no lead, really safe, and the colors are exquisite. So this is Rose, which is my go-to color. Just a little bit more color than my natural lip, has a nice shimmer, and brings life to my face. Now I'm ready to go. This is all I really need, and I just love putting lots of it on. So this is Rose, which once again, it's a color that looks good on most everyone that I do their makeup on, and I feel very polished, put together. I love how blendable the colors are. You can layer them. The textures feel like Christian Dior shadows I used to really love when I was working in makeup, and these are very creamy. There's a lot of pigment in them, considering that they're natural, safer makeup, and they last long on the skin. Your foundation won't budge. It doesn't melt off, and you will pretty much only need to touch up your lips and maybe your cheeks throughout the day. So that is, I forgot to bring a tissue. So I'm going to just kiss this. That is Rose, and then I'm going to use Scarlet so you can see how much pigment these have and how I can take a very classic look and glam it up. Now, Scarlet is a gorgeous color. There's something magical about the undertone of this color that makes it look good on all skin types, whether you're really fair or have deep, beautiful golden skin. It just gives so much life, and I normally don't wear red lipsticks, but this one really makes me happy. So if I wanted to take this look and go into something a little bit more dramatic, maybe I had a special night out, I wanted to, or a holiday or something that was just a little bit more special, I would just put on a thicker liner, maybe more of a winged liner, and more mascara, and you're good to go. So those colors are really beautiful on, and I just wanted to share, like, if you were to spend about $230, you would get the tint skin foundation, the touch-up pin concealer, you would get the blush, the powder blush, you would get an eyeshadow, I'm looking, you would get the mascara, an eye pencil, and a lip sheer. So for about $230 before tax and shipping, you get everything that you need for your makeup. Now, for under $200, we could work things out, but my point is, you go to Sephora, you go to the beauty counters at the department stores, you typically walk away with at least $100 worth of products that aren't clean and, just like trendy products, but not classic products. A kit like this would get you through an entire year, and you may have to just like replace the lipstick or try a new eyeshadow, but typically this is going to last you quite a while. The quality is really fantastic. So for mature skin, I highly recommend using a good moisturizer or a facial oil before this to prime the skin. And other than that, the tips, the ability to be your own makeup artist is really quite easy. So I hope you liked this. Just check and see if we have specials right now. For today, it's January 31st. Beautycounter has a special. If you spend $200, you get $100 worth of luxury body products, which is an oil and a lotion. And I'm throwing in Hot and Holistic, which is my e-course, for free, which is $111. So message me if you want to green your beauty routine today. And otherwise, just think about this, take a look at this, and let me be your lady to green your beauty routine and get you moving into safer products that work and still are so beautiful on. My website is Christy Funk, and my Beautycounter site is beautycounter.com/Christy Funk. Many blessings and enjoy your beautiful products. Have a great day. Mwah.